Hello and welcome to episode 60 of the HamCorp training manual. In this episode, we will finish off Thaumcraft automation for now by using centi-vis. Before continuing with other magic mods, we go to the tier 3 planets and set up multiblock miners with remote monitoring. Don't mind me, just augmenting my wand so I can make a scepter You've seen me do plenty of this before. I need to make the thaumium-embossed silverwood scepter for the Arcane assembler, and you've seen me go through wand progression before, so I'm just going to go through more wands, and I will say what wands I'm making, just in case you're following along with the wand progression, because it's not very obvious. So right now, I have the gold-banded silverwood wand, and I'm working on augmenting it so it can hold more V. Once I augment it, I'll be able to make the iron-capped silverwood scepter, at least with the discounts that I have now. If you have different discounts, you may or may not be able to do this. After making the iron-capped silverwood scepter, I'll have to take a look again to see what to make next. You know what? I'm getting really tired of recharging my wand. I think I'm going to try and set up centi-vis. I was going to wait until I had all the applied energistic stuff for this, but I'm losing my mind over here. So, we put the node transducer on top of this node. By applying a redstone signal, I should be able to energize this node. I think these are fairly small numbers, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Ideally, I would wait for these two nodes to also get gobbled up, but it's not really that much V left in these. So let's turn this on. This energizes the node, draining it completely of V. And once it's completely drained, it should be an energized node. Takes a little bit of time. Okay, so these new numbers, I believe, are the amount of centi-vis that is produced per tick. And this looks so cool. Look at that. Sick. So to actually use this, we need V relays and a V charge relay. In making the V charge relay, I wanted to automate the silverwood rod, but this is actually not possible for me currently. Because if you look at the number of different inputs, remember that each of these aspects is also going to count as an input for the pattern. There's just not enough slots. And so there are two ways to get around this. One is to make the ME processing pattern terminal. I can't do this at the moment because this needs LUV machine parts. And the other is the universal wireless terminal. I think I could make this, but I'm not 100% sure. This might be good for me to have regardless. I've been talking about wanting a wireless crafting terminal for a while, but this seems like more than just that, so that's even better. And it goes in a bauble slot, so that's very nice. I haven't looked too closely at each of these terminals, but yeah, it seems pretty straightforward to make. Nothing too crazy. But this is kind of a side thing, but I kind of need it because now that the infusion is automated, kind of seems like all my infusions have to be automated because otherwise my fake and real essentias are no longer going to match. Quick little diversion to make the universal wireless terminal. Aha! So, to make the wireless crafting terminal, which is needed to make the universal one, we need a singularity. How do you get singularities? There's a quest here, and it explains it over here, but basically, it's related to the matter condenser from before. What we need to do is put in 512,000 of any item, sacrificing them, and in exchange, we will get one singularity. Now that sounds like a lot of items, but there's a way to get around this. Connect it up to applied energistics with an export bus, and what I'm going to put in here is a water droplet. You can get this from the terminal if you set it to show fluid drops. And we have infinite water because of reservoirs and stuff. So this is just free items. And they do indeed count. You can see the count going up. So I'm going to get some acceleration cards to speed this up. And soon enough, we're going to have a singularity. I am quite low on ender pearls now. This is still my original supply from our intern. The intern has long since left the company, and I don't know where he works now. Probably dead, but this is a very dangerously low number of ender pearls. I don't want to hire another intern. Instead, that's another side thing to do. For now, I really want to get magic automated, and then maybe we'll look at enderman. Here's the universal wireless terminal. Now we're going to have to link this to our system. I believe that's done in an ME security terminal. And I think this might need a channel, so this goes in the top right slot. That links it to our system, and now it says wireless out of range. That's because we don't have any wireless access points. Once you get your hands on a wireless access point, you can just plug it into your system. This has a pretty limited range, but you can expand the range using wireless booster cards. These go into the access point. It increases the energy use but it also increases the range. Now I don't see anything. It was because the security terminal no longer had a channel. So now with this universal wireless terminal, I can see everything in my system. Now I can look at processing patterns, and these are what I need for bigger infusions. This is a huge quality of life upgrade. Yeah, I can do it from the thumb tower too. Nice. So now that I have the processing pattern terminal, I can encode this silverwood rod recipe with all of the aspects and all of the different inputs and all of that, and I can get back on track and make the V-charge relay. Okay, here is the fully encoded recipe. Also, I don't know how I didn't notice before, but you don't have to keep shift right-clicking to change the terminal type. You can just click here. And now we should be able to autocraft these. Nice. Big tangent for big gains. Here's the V-charge relay. Now the way this works is you get your Arcane work table. I don't know how this links to applied energistics yet, but usually you plop down your Arcane work table, put a charge relay on top, it's already connected. Okay, I guess I don't need a V relay. This energized node is transporting this much centi-vis per tick into the charge relay, and if I put my wand in here, it should start charging really fast. Well, it's not really fast, but it's faster than waiting for these nodes, and it's faster than growing these fucking mushrooms. I'm so tired of these mushrooms. So it's still pretty slow, but it could be really fast. Depending on the size of your original node before energizing it, the amount of centi-vis you make per tick scales based on the size of the node. And now I can finally get back to upgrading my wand into a scepter. Now I'm going to take this iron-capped silverwood scepter and I'm going to augment it. I'm going to augment it with both augments. So charge buffer as well as V-channel. I should have been doing this for the last 2 episodes, but for some reason I thought you could only have one augment on. So I'm going to put both of them on the scepter and see what my new average V cost is. Now with both the charge buffer and V-channel augments, I have a 70% average V cost and a capacity of 187.5. All this with an iron-capped scepter. And that means I can do crafts up to something like 267 base cost. And the Thaumium embossed silverwood scepter needs 237. So I think I'm going to make one for myself, and then I'm going to make one for the Arcane assembler. And then the one for myself, I'm also going to double augment again with both charge buffer and V-channel. Also, I swapped out my infusion provider for an Essentia provider, but I had some problems. I don't know why, so I just swapped it back for now. Check out this new wand. 52% V cost, 187.5 capacity. With this, I could do crafts up to 360 base cost for V. It truly is a new age. I made another one for making the Arcane assembler as well, and I've taught the recipe to the system. Man, I've been waiting to click start for this literally for like 2 episodes. In the meantime, I'm also going to make a knowledge inscriber, and I think I might need an extra knowledge core, but if not, then no harm in having extras, I guess. So I'm going to make a knowledge core, knowledge inscriber, and I will be back when this Arcane assembler is done infusing. Also, I had more incidents. Knowledge inscriber, knowledge core, Arcane assembler. Finally, we're going to need one last item, the V relay interface. Luckily, this is all very doable. Not too bad at all. Oh man, the warp is hitting me now. Starting here with the knowledge inscriber. This is where we encode our patterns. So we can put in a knowledge core. What you could do is you load up the recipe, shift click, and save. This saves the recipe in here, and if you want to remove the recipe, just select it and then click the same button again. One knowledge core can store up to 21 different recipes. So I'm going to just quickly save up all of the different clusters because those are used in a lot of different recipes. We take the knowledge core and we can put it in the Arcane assembler. This has slots for V discounts, and it has different bars over here showing how much of the different V amounts are stored in this machine. There's already a little bit in here because I was messing around trying to understand how this works. I don't know what this bottom left slot is for. I think it's an indicator of what craft is going on, but I'm not totally sure. So to get V into your machine, you need to use the V relay interface and a V relay. So we put down the interface on the same network that the Arcane assembler is in, and then a relay on top of it. And it needs line of sight to the energized node, so that's why this specific spot didn't work, but up here should be fine. Now this interface is kind of like a P2P channel, and you can bind it to other interfaces or you can bind it to Arcane assemblers. So you're going to need a memory card to do this, and the advanced memory card, which is the one that has all of these options, does not work. So you need to make a regular memory card, shift right click the V relay, regular right click the Arcane assembler, and that will start sending V from this relay into the assembler. As you can see, the numbers are now going up. From this point, this works the same as a regular molecular assembler. The only issue is it's quite slow because we need to wait for the V to recharge. If you have a bigger energized node, that's better, but I need to spend quite a bit of time energizing this, and I'm kind of all thumbed out, so I want to start working on something else. But I can proudly say that we have automated 3 very major aspects of Thaumcraft: Arcane work table crafting, infusion, and alchemy. Now before I continue into other magic mods, I do want to set up the miners on the tier 3 planets and launch the tier 3 rocket. If you remember, the whole reason I started this tangent was to automate ender tanks, and now we can finally do that. Now for this I'm going to need enderium, which is ender pearls. So I hope I still have enough ender pearls. I probably don't. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go to the end and kill a bunch of endermen for now, and I'll actually deal with solving this ender pearl shortage after that. One thing I want to say before we go set up these miners, this node bullying method of making this central node bigger is, as expected, dog shit. I learned from a comment on the previous video that there's a much better way to accomplish what I'm trying to do here, with empowering bees. As always, bees are apparently the solution to everything, but I'm kind of really tired of Thaumcraft right now, so we can do that the next time we do Thaumcraft. For now, let's set up these miners and launch the rocket. Let's do our pre-flight checklist. I got my ender chests, ender tanks, materials to set up the miner, mining pipes of course, some dyes so I can send things back, combustion gens to power them, metrics transmitter covers, I'll show you how those work soon, fuel, oxygen, spacesuit, rocket. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, actually, one more thing. Don't forget to take a fuel loader and capacitor bank, because I actually don't know if this fuel is enough to go to all the different planets and come back. Let's start with Ceres. What is this? An asteroid? Ceres is the biggest asteroid, I think, right? So here on Ceres, there's a dungeon, and there's also small ores, naquata and quantium. Now, obviously, we're going to need a ton of naquata, or maybe that's not obvious, but we will. And quantium, I don't know, but apparently it's used for the T5 rocket. Again, I've never been this far in the game, so all of this is new to me. I did a little bit of scanning. Most importantly, I found a palladium vein. This is a great source of platinum and obviously palladium. So I'm going to set up my miner centered on this. So with the single block miners, what we did was we centered it on these GT ore chunks, ore vein chunks, and the HV miner basically exactly covered these. But the range of these ore drilling plants is much larger. So here the maximum radius is 64 blocks. Previously the maximum radius was whatever the distance to that is, which I think is 22 blocks or 23 blocks. So more than double the range here. So if I set up a miner here at the center of this palladium vein, it's also going to mine pretty much all of these surrounding veins. So now when I set up these multi-block miners, when they're done, I'm going to mark not only this vein as complete, but also all the immediately surrounding ones. This output bus is going to lead to this ender chest, and the ender chest code is red, red, red. And our ender tanks, wait a minute, I didn't make enough. I need 4 more. Damn it. I'm going to point this input hatch up, and I'm going to put the ender tank here. Now this is the drilling fluid input hatch. So this needs to be drilling fluid, which I think, I don't remember what it is, but you can look it up. If you look at the recipe for an ender tank, there's an ender storage tank overview, and this shows you all the different codes and what's currently stored inside. So drilling fluid is white, yellow, yellow. This is now drilling fluid. I'm going to turn on the auto output. And then this one, our turbo combustion gen, similar thing, except cetane boosted diesel. So this is yellow, yellow, yellow. And I turn on the auto output. So now this is powered. This has mining pipe. I have no idea if this is enough mining pipe. Don't forget to load the chunk. You only need to load the chunk that the multi-block is in, because the multi-block itself will load the chunks that it's mining in. Now the metrics transmitter cover I'm going to put facing the bottom of this ore drilling plant. And what that does is it generates a GregTech advanced sensor card. Now this we're going to use back on Earth to be able to see all of the different statistics about this plant. For example, whether it's still mining, if it's on or off, or has maintenance issues, or running out of fluid, or whatever. Well, I'm gonna have to head back to Earth to pick up some more ender tanks anyway, so I'll show you how this works. While I'm here, let me actually show you what I plan to do with the outputs. So they are sent to this ender chest, and basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up an import bus with accelerators, and then this should work exactly as intended. Everything should get sent to the right place. Of course, the input bus is going to be on the subnet, the ore processing subnet, so it'll store things in the correct spots. Now let me show you how the advanced sensor card works. I've got my advanced information panel. I'm gonna put one here, and the sensor card goes inside. And then you just click this button to turn it on. It shows you what the machine is, what dimension, coordinates, how many ores are left. And the advanced information panel is much better because you can make it look nice. You can change the incline of it. You can make it transparent. You can change the color of the screen and the text like that. That looks so much better. So I'm gonna have a couple of these. Once I have all these miners set up, I'm going to have a nice overview of all my different ore drilling plants. Now I have some bitch work to do, like making more ender tanks and making a new prospector scanner. I'll be back when we can set up on the other planets. Next up, we're going to Jupiter. Kind of. It's a gas giant, so obviously you can't land on it, but you can land on the moons. So let's go to Europa first. Now here, I'm here for a specific ore vein, being this one, Ledox. Onwards to Callisto. Callisto is also a moon of Jupiter. Now here, we're after something a little weird, I guess. We're after Callisto ice. I don't know how that's different from regular ice, but I guess we'll find out. Finally, we go to Ross 128b. Now the question is, where is that? Huh, it's different solar system. That's weird. How can I go to a different solar system if I can't make it past like Pluto or the Kuiper belt? All right, let's go. Ugh, what is this? Something new. Amazing. There's trees. Whoa, these are some weird ore names that I have never seen before. Fluorine, just straight fluorine. Very easy to pronounce names right here. I don't think I actually want to be here, but this is very cool. Not sure what the point of this is, but I think my last miner, I'm better off setting this up on the asteroid belt. Whoa, very cool. Okay, this one is my favorite new dimension so far, just because it's unique. But I'm not sure this is really made for multi-block miners, so maybe I'll just put it back on Earth. But I do want to explore this place. This is cool. Yeah, even prospecting doesn't even give you anything, which, you know, makes sense. Oh, actually, I do want to set up my miner here. Here's Nakoda ore. Oh, what? Look at that. There's like just flying asteroids everywhere. That's actually really cool. Alright, this is very cool, but I've already noticed that we do not make drilling fluid fast enough. But look at that. This is so cool. Alright, time to head home. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will continue investing in magic by starting on Botania and perhaps witchery as well. HamCorp would like a self-reported performance review from employees. Are you A, working hard, B, hardly working, or C, hard while working? One of those responses will get you fired. See you next time.